I hope your day is full of baskets. I literally don't know why I started the intro with baskets. I don't know what kind of theme starts with baskets. I hope your day is full of baskets and blankets and sandwiches and ants and watermelon. It's a picnic intro. You know when you see a classic picnic, they always have ants in a wicker basket. Did I save this intro? Hope you're having a picnicky Wednesday. What's up, my little Shankstas? It is I, Shank. I am reporting live from Shank Palace to let you know that we have an amazing episode of Shank for you this week with visual artist Ramin Nazer. He's super talented. He also has a podcast with Mauss, comedian Mauss, called Mind Under Matter Pod. They are having this really awesome camp out the weekend of September 11th in North Carolina. More info about that if you head over to the Mind Under Matter Pod website, which is linked in the description of this episode. Plus, we're going to get into it in this week's episode of Shank. But before we get into this week's episode of Shank, there's just some things I want to tell you about. Starting with Friday, I will be at the Belly Room. That's right, Friday. What date is that? Who the hell knows? Let me tell you right now. This Friday, I will be at the Belly Room. That is August 19th. I will be performing at 10:30 p.m. with Kimberly Congdon. Frank Castillo's hosting. Josh Martin's on the show. It's going to be a really fun show. So if you're in the West Hollywood area or in Southern California, make sure to swing by the Comedy Store 10:30 Friday night, Belly Room. It's a great way to kick off your weekend. Then on Saturday, I will be at Jam in the Van, which is one of my favorite shows to do. Jam in the Van, I believe, is in Culver City. And that will be on August 20th at 9:30 p.m. And Kim Congdon's on that show as well. If you're a fan of our other podcast, This Bitch, it's a great opportunity to see us both live. Okay. I have a special announcement. The special announcement is your girl, me, created a Patreon. So if you're a certified Shanksta, if you're out there and you're like, I need more Shank all of the time, I got news for you. For just $5 a month, you get ad-free Shank content. What's included is a monthly bonus podcast, behind the scenes videos, the occasional thirst trap that you won't find on Instagram. And this is just for $5 a month. Plus, I will be doing Patreon only live streams where I get to talk to you guys. And I'll be putting polls up regularly so I can check in with you and see what type of content it is you guys want to see from me. And yeah, support one of your favorite comics by supporting my Patreon. It's a great way for you to get ad-free content and a great way for me to connect with you guys and to give you guys more Shank. Because I know some of you are like, I need more Shank. Well, you're in luck. Guys, also for more show dates, head over to my Instagram at Princess Shank. That's princess like normal and then another SHENK. On there, you'll find all my shows. On my Twitter, I sometimes post jokes and links to my pods when they drop. And as always, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review Shank. It's an indie podcast. We're still growing. Share it with your friends. Let your friends know that you're a certified Shanksta. I don't know why I keep saying certified Shanksta, and then I did like a sign. I don't know. Am I going to get in trouble for that? Who knows? Guys, we have an amazing episode of Shank, but before we get into this week's episode of Shank, there's just something I want to tell you about, and that's, oh yeah, socks. Oh yeah. Look down at your feet right now. Are you wearing socks? If you're not wearing socks, you're a disgusting pig. No, but if you're not wearing socks, ask yourself why. Socks are a Sorry, I got so excited I forgot what I was even saying. What I'm saying is socks are an essential accessory. They protect one of your most precious assets, your feet. Keep those feet covered, guys. Head to ohyeah.com. That's 3 O's SARAHYEAH.com, discount code Sarah10. Whatever socks you're into, whatever thing you're into, there's a pair of socks for you. Whether you're into Dungeons and Dragons or the Brady Bunch or Bob Ross or Mr. Rogers or animals, there's a pair of socks for you, and they make amazing gifts. I love giving them to my friends and my family. They always are so surprised, and they wear them all of the time. Because you know why? No one wakes up and says, I wish I had less socks. All right, guys, let's get into this week's episode of Shank. Share this week's episode with your friends, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you guys for listening. Let's get into it. Here it is. Okay.
Now we're in it.
Now we're in it.
Have you heard of the millennial pause?
No, what's the millennial pause?
I just heard about it today. Are you a millennial, technically?
Yes, technically I am a
I'm
millennial.
technically, and I had to look up what it meant, but apparently millennials do this thing that when a video starts, there's like a second where they don't speak because they're used to the thing not starting on time. So Zoomers will just go, hey fam, what's going on? And then millennials, there'll be a video of them for a second, 2 seconds, like,
Yeah, that's
hey
me.
guys.
That's
yeah.
me. Why?
And we do it, and now it's cringe. It's so
Wait,
funny
I
that
just
it's
did something
cringe.
cringe? Guys, welcome to another episode of Shank. I'm super excited. I'm joined by artist Ramin Nazer.
Thank you
Did
for
I
having
say your
me.
name right?
Ramin Nazer.
Ramin.
But Rayman, I know why you got the Rayman, because the
What
laser
happened?
part, the Nazer laser, you're thinking Rayman, like the laser.
I don't know why. We even had a fucking rehearsal, and then I still botched it.
Yeah, it's a lifelong journey. Most people don't get it. There's not many of them. Much like there's no Weinshenks. You're the only Weinshenk I know.
I know. I like that.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my real last name.
I just didn't know if you're like maybe Weinstein and you're like Weinshenk.
No. I don't think anyone would purposely choose Weinshenk.
Why not? It's got the shank.
The shank part really has been working to my advantage. I've really been exploiting the shank part as much as I can.
When did you learn to love it?
First I had a lot of acting coaches, and by a lot I mean one acting coach. I don't know why I said a lot.
One
is enough. Who told me that I should change my last name to Sarah.
No. Wait, so what would be Sarah?
It would just be Sarah. So
spelled
Sarah,
the same?
No, like Mike Sarah.
Oh,
Cera. And I was like,
that's corny.
He was like, you got to be Sarah. And I was like, I don't really think that that's right.
No,
changing your name is weird to me.
It is.
It's like, just be who you are and make people learn your last name.
That one's a tricky one because a lot of people love changing their name.
Like Jennifer Aniston, her real last name is like Galapagos or some shit.
Is it? She's Greek?
She's Greek, and her last name is very...
Natalie Portman is Natalie Justine.
No.
Sarah Silverman is not... No, actually Silverman does sound right.
Is that one right?
I think that is right.
I
think Silverman is the last name, but it just sounds like it's too perfect. Sarah Silverman. Like,
yeah.
It's got to be something else, but I think that was a real one.
Yeah, but like the thought of just changing your name so people understand you more is weird.
Yeah, that one's not good. John Stewart is John Leibowitz.
He should have just been Leibowitz, but actually John Stewart does kind of fit him.
It does, and that was the 80s, and it was a different time. Maybe you just couldn't have a Jew last name back then. Maybe it was just not okay unless you were on the other side of the camera. But
yeah, totally.
Yeah, in front you couldn't do it.
Unless you were writing checks.
Yes.
Producing. I'm super excited to have you on. Your art is really fucking dope. You brought me a gift.
Yeah, I did. I got you a present. Okay. I never do that. Ask other podcasts. I don't get them shit. I take their
sparkling water.
Spindrift. Or no, it's Waterloo. Waterloo is better than Spindrift because it's new to me, and new things are always better.
New things are always better. I agree. So wait, this is really cool. It's called After You Die.
Mm-hmm. No religious agenda.
No religious agenda. So how did you decide to make this?
I think it was being formed over many years. I never just, and I think no one does. No one just gets an idea and then I've got it. Although sometimes you do get a download, but it's like forming over years. But so the premise of this is I don't know what happens after you die. I just like to entertain different models of it. So, you've got oblivion, pure nothingness, just no experience at all. You've got heaven, infinite good feelings.
Well, look at heaven. You put like junk food and angel.
Angel, ice cream, junk food,
What else
weed leaf,
we
video
love
games.
it.
You've got hell. You've got infinite suffering for an infinite amount of time. Purgatory, which is not oblivion, but more
in between.
limbo. Yeah, you're like bored. You're aware, but it's just nothingness.
And it's just a blank white page for purgatory. I
just
like that.
complete
That was well executed.
Reincarnation, you become a butterfly, you become a tree, or you become an alien, or you become a sock. You reincarnate as a monkey. Who knows?
You reincarnate as an apple.
Reincarnate as an apple. You just become a different thing based on your lesson. A ghost, you go haunt mansions afterwards. You become a spirit, perhaps.
I like
could
that.
Be the thing
You get
that
stuck between dimensions.
You resonate the last feeling that you feel eternally. You just become that feeling. So you better pick a good one.
Is that a thing?
That one, I made up that one. There's a handful of these that I just made up. Like Heaven and Hell, I did not make up, of course, and Oblivion.
You didn't? You weren't the first person to craft the idea of heaven and hell.
I'm afraid not. I'm afraid I've deceived you. Wake up. It's like Inception. It's all dreams within dreams. Have you ever died in a dream?
No.
Really? So I'm hogging all the deaths, huh?
You're dying in your dreams?
All the time. It's commonplace now.
Really? I go to the same places in my dreams.
Like the Comedy Store, or like different made-up places?
Different made-up places, and the thing that's really trippy about it is that Kim Congdon and I were talking, and we go to some of the same places in our dreams. Like the exact same places. It looks like a cross between Hawaii and Santa Barbara.
Oh, so you're like hyperdimensional friends
Yeah,
who like
like
reincarnated here as humans and then became friends again, but you probably know each other on the astral plane.
Yo, we know each other on the astral plane.
For millions of years. Yeah.
Which is trippy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's this one? Repeat?
Repeat, you just repeat
No.
the same thing over and over again with no memory of it. That's where deja vu comes from. You're like, that's weird. I feel like I did that already.
I feel like that sometimes about certain things. Do you have that
all the time
feeling?
So repeat new game plus, that's like you repeat over and over again, but this time you do remember. So each time you get a little bit of an edge. Each time you live on
new
it.
game plus. This is so cool. So I love your art. It's very psychedelic simulation.
It's all matrix. It's all computer program.
And
there's no real you. There's only the program. Live on in your child's mind. So you'll see the world as though it's a movie playing through your kid's head, then your grandkid's head, then your great grandkid's head.
Whoa.
If you don't have kids, then let's say it's your nieces and nephews, just your ancestors or something.
My dog.
Your dog, that could count.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Your awareness shifts into that of a child's mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's a trippy idea.
Surprise party. Everybody was in on it, including me. And then even the people that you didn't like, your enemies, strangers at the grocery store, they were all planning the surprise party. So any bad thing that happened was all... Because that's what a surprise party is. It's deceiving someone to think that they don't care about you, and then all of a sudden exploding with like, surprise, we do care about you. But you pretend that, I'm going to be out of town for your birthday. Oh, it's your birthday that week? Oh, fuck you, I don't care. But then when there's a surprise, the deception is that it was all
planned, and everyone was in on it.
Exactly.
I like this idea.
Yeah, and I had a trip that involved exactly...
A psychedelic trip?
Yeah, that involved that this whole life is a
surprise party?
A surprise party at the end.
What psychedelic were you on?
This is DMT, dimethyltryptamine.
Yes, I know it. I haven't been able
Heard of it. You're supposed to say heard of it and show your 818 tattoo.
Yeah, heard of it. Getting the 818 tattoo covered, actually. Tomorrow.
What? Why?
Because my mom doesn't like it and I love her.
Oh.
And then because I'm a 35-year-old that still needs to appease my mother. No, but also because I thought I got it when I was on acid at Skankfest. It looks like a prison tattoo a little bit.
But it's for Brody, right?
It's for Brody, but I still... Okay, so I'm like, Brody would get it because he was close with his mom. So I'm like, I'm going to incorporate I'm not getting rid of the 818. I'm just covering it up.
Oh, wait, does that mean it becomes a different image, though?
Yes.
My friend Doug used to have a tattoo that said, I love Allie, and that was his fiance at the time, and then they broke up, and then he changed it to I love alligators, and put the Lacoste alligator symbol on it. Mm-hmm. Looks great now.
It does?
Yep.
Do you think you would ever get into tattooing?
Tattooing?
Like, actually
tattooing
a person?
I would,
you
but
have
people have gotten tattoos of my stuff, but other actual tattoo artists do it, but I don't think I have the the patience to go into that world, because you have to be an apprentice and the stakes are very real, whereas when you draw on paper or color in the computer, the stakes are not real.
Yeah.
I mean, you can cover it up, I guess. It's not super real stakes, but just the thought of like just being on someone's ass cheek for 6 hours,
I
like
know.
Zzz, dip it again, zzz, that
And,
just
like,
doesn't sound fun to me.
The conversations that you're forced to have.
Oh, they're bad about that?
I don't know. I mean, like, because
Is that your only tat?
I have 3.
What are the other 2? Can you say?
A bow
like
on my neck.
Like a
real
bow and arrow, or
no,
a
like
bow
what's
tie?
on a present.
Oh, okay.
A bow. I got that when I was 25, and a teapot.
A teapot?
Yeah.
Like all in the same spot?
The bow is on the back of my neck.
Oh, okay,
It's
that's cool.
It's whatever. And then a teapot on my side. And they mean nothing.
No stories, not even in the moment?
No, well, the bow on the back of my neck I got after a family vacation that went awry. I was like, you know what? Fuck these people. I'm getting a tattoo. When I was 25, I got drunk at a street fair, and there was a tattoo booth, and I was like, I need to rebel. I'm angsty at 25, and so I got it. And actually, my friend made everyone around us. She's like, if I can get you the money that it costs to get the tattoo, you have to get the tattoo. So she crowdfunded my.
What's that? $100? $300?
Yeah, $100.
Oh,
it was
that's
only
funny.
$100. We got it at 25. I was like, that's my electric bill.
You had too much Catholic schoolgirl energy pent up. Which do any people that go to all girl or all boy Catholic school, do any of them not rebel? Do any of them become that thing that the parents want them to? Because it seems like they all just go nuts.
You go nuts because you can, and you're like, oh, you don't want me to do that? I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
But so yeah, and then the teapot I got on a whim. I'm really glad I was very close to getting. Have you seen Beauty and the Beast?
Of course.
I've
seen the live action. I've seen the animated one. I've seen the
all of them. The live action one's fun. The
it is
dinner
with
scene.
Emma Hermione Granger. What's her name?
Emma Watson.
Yeah.
Okay, so surprise party.
The animations are good. Dimension shift. So
I'm into this theory.
Yeah, that you become all of it.
Yeah.
So instead of, you start as kind of a sperm egg combination thing, and then you're right now we're one moment at a time. Like I feel like I'm this ape body thing, but when you're your whole self, you're like every single moment all combined into one thing, living like that undulating snake kind of thing. It sounds scary to be it when you think about it from this perspective, but in that perspective, you would just kind of be a you.
Yeah, I like it. I like that.
Which there's theories now, which I think this is the leading theory, but before it would be about how the sperm is the fastest one wins, but it's more about the egg like choosing the one it wants. So it's like kind of flipping it on its head. It's like it used to be the masculine, like it's all about the fastest, most alpha sperm, but now it's changing. It's like, no, it's the egg is the selector of the...
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Like you.
Yeah, you get the rose.
Huh?
So that is like there's no way of describing it. That's one option of afterlife. Even that visual is not an accurate description of it. And I put this Terrence McKenna quote of the universe is not only stranger than we suppose, it's stranger
like
than we can suppose.
That sounds exactly like him.
Well, I've listened to a lot of his YouTubes, and well, what is YouTube? Well, I'll go on for 5 hours about it.
This is interesting because one time I had a really intense psilocybin trip that took me to, I saw DMT like entities.
Cool.
Meaning like that snake lady. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, there's lots of characters.
Like
it's bigger than the Marvel and Star Wars world combined.
Yeah. How many times have you done DMT?
I think less than 10, but maybe 10. I'm going to say 7 to 9 times.
7 to 9 times. And what were your experiences each time?
So,
like from what you remember.
The memorable one.
The most memorable.
Most memorable one, I did this Comedy Central Tales from the Trip whole episode about it. So I'll just
cool.
give the...
I did one of those too.
Oh, really? I got to check that one out. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
Because some of them are missed. Some of them are like, what? Why was that even a story? Yours isn't that one. I'm sure of it.
Mine's about doing acid in Hollywood.
That sounds fun.
It was a nightmare.
Even funner.
It was like a 12-hour hellscape.
It does last a long time. You're not expecting it to be that long, and then you're just still up at 5 a.m. But the main one I'm already forgetting it now, because when you it's kind of when you burn a bit, like, and then you're trying to remember an old bit you did, like, oh, I retired it. I don't even remember what the bit is anymore. But I saw this every possible multiverse combination was there to choose from, and I like was zoomed out of all of it, so I saw every single possible world timeline. Cool. And then I forgot which one I came from, and then this voice from somewhere was just like, stop the presses, and then all of it stopped. Like, it just came to a standstill, and they were really nice to me. The entities were saying, like, we can send you back home, we just do you know which one you came from? We just need to know which one you got home from. And I'm like, I don't. And then they're like kind of helping me and priming me with stuff. And then eventually I kind of narrow it down to 100, then down to 10. And then I finally narrow it down to 2 different timelines. One where me and Shane did the DMT in the living room. The other one we did it in like the bedroom or something. And I just couldn't remember which one it was, and I just picked eventually. I'm like, whatever, just throw me back into the living room. And then when I woke up and I came to, I was sure I picked the wrong one. I was like, oh, no, it was the other one. So I like jumped timelines just one click over, just
so
barely.
You went back?
Yeah. So no, I didn't go back into the DMT. I'm still in the wrong universe.
But do you feel that way now?
Of course. Like, all this stuff happened afterwards, and I'm not one of these, I'm still having a good time here, but it got strange after 2012. It's like, Trump, COVID,
I don't
what
even...
else is there?
All of it. Monkeypox.
Monkeypox, I guess.
Fuck?
It's trying to make itself happen. I don't know if it'll take off like COVID did.
No, COVID was... Ever since COVID, we're in another dimension, it feels like.
Yeah.
It's a different reality.
Trump did that too. Like, just to... regardless of whether you love him or hate him or are neutral, it was
what
just
if I loved
strange...
him?
It's great. I haven't met one here yet. Actually, I've met
I'm into
of it.
paying a canyon, like meditating just about how much I love Trump.
Yeah.
That would be a plot twist.
How long have you been here?
I've been here since the pandemic.
Is this why you came out here? Because, oh, good move. It's magic out here.
Yeah, I love being out here. It's really
quiet.
grounding.
Yes.
I don't know, are you into meditation?
Of course.
Cool.
I'll meditate right now.
Hell yeah. Do you meditate every day?
I try to. I fall off my horse with everything eventually. I try to, be good about exercise, meditation, good eating habits, good sleeping habits, but eventually something inside me, some irreducible rascality of human being is just like, you know what? Fuck meditation today. Fuck the yoga. Fuck calling people back. Fuck checking your bank account.
Fuck checking your bank account.
It blows
for
up.
Sure.
And then once it's done blowing up, you're like, okay, I'll get back together again.
That's amazing. You never die. I like this
that's
concept.
an option. You never die. So you get uploaded into the internet as, an AI, and your perspective is one that never dies, and you remember death as a thing that people used to experience. But even those characters, like the way we see the Tupac hologram, the Salvador Dali hologram.
I didn't know there was a Salvador Dali hologram.
That one's even more intense than the Tupac one, because you can ask it questions and it has an AI based on all his past videos, like what he would say.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Westworld.
I want to have him on the pod.
Have him. Have your first AI guest. Who's someone you really want to have, but you feel like, oh, I don't know if they would do it. They're too busy. They're too big. I'm all the way out here in Topanga Canyon.
Duncan
Trussell?
Yeah.
He would do it. He lives in Asheville, though.
He lives in North Carolina now.
Yeah, or actually he's moving to Austin.
A lot of people live in Austin. Yeah, Duncan.
Yeah. Okay, let's make that happen.
Yes, I would love to. I smoked a DMT pen with him one time at the Comedy Store, but I didn't go to the next.
Oh, awesome. Was it still when he lived here?
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't break all the way through. But have you ever had a DMT like trip on mushrooms?
No.
That's what I had. It was really interesting.
So you were on mushrooms and then you decided to take like...
I was on mushrooms, and then those like meditation masks, they're kind of like sensory deprivation masks. Mindfold. Mm-hmm. Yes. The Mindfold mask. I put that on with my friend, and we went into like a DMT like realm where I met that purple lady that's like the snake lady.
Yeah, Shane has a long-term relationship with her.
He does.
Mm-hmm. He's got like 12 clips on the internet about like big stories with her. There's even one story where someone else did DMT, talked to her without knowing anything about the Shane relationship, and then she said that she misses Shane, and then the guy says like, oh yeah, she said that she misses you, and then Shane goes, oh yeah, she says that to everyone, and then he goes, no, she says she misses you, Shane. She was telling me about you, not about me.
No,
so,
that's crazy.
sending messages, and they didn't ever talk about that experience.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was some evidence for sure.
Dude, that she's a real
That she's
entity.
real.
Have you met her?
No, not really.
I met her on mushrooms and she was trippy as fuck. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's Shiva or Kali or something. Oh, right. So Paradox is the last page. Paradox is all the previous options are true and not true, and some third options simultaneously. There's no such thing as past, present, future is only now. Except I said there's no such thing as present. And then the last page is just a picture of me with
this
a
is
link.
so cool.
No,
so do you
it's
sell
yours.
this?
Yeah, this is my one of my best-selling books.
It's so cool.
And it's
Like
on
I
my
would buy
site.
this if you didn't bring it to me.
Damn, I
'Cause
just lost $10.
But you're about to make more because everyone's going to go and buy it because it's sick. And then, okay, you have I saw online you have I bought it, the tarot, the oracle
it's
deck.
an oracle deck, actually. So tarot is a specific set of cards with like the swords and the pentacles and stuff. And then oracle deck is kind of whatever you want it to be.
It's so fun.
Oh, thank you.
Whenever I have a down moment, I was getting my hair done. I was like, all right, let's do it. And then I got one. And I made my hairdresser do it too. And she was
Really?
like, this is pretty
Do you
cool.
remember what you got?
I don't remember what she got. I wish
Next
I
time.
did.
Next time. Maybe it was one of the boring ones. Just
no,
kidding.
none of
There's
them are
no boring
boring.
ones.
Yeah. So, okay. So how do you know Shane? I know you guys have your podcast together. It's called Mind.
Yeah, he's my Kim Condon.
He's your Kim Congdon.
Yeah.
How did you guys start working together, and what's the name of your podcast called?
Our podcast is called Mind Under Matter. You can go to Mind Under Pod to check it out, or just if you're watching this on YouTube, we're also on YouTube. We're also
Cool.
on Spotify video.
Okay, cool.
too,
You're on
and-
Spotify video?
Mhm.
I didn't even know they had
Just
video.
us and Rogan. We're the only two that have video.
That's so cool. I'll link to everything in the description of the episode, so it'll be super easy for
Excellent.
everyone to find.
You're a good podcast host.
Hell yeah.
But to be truly successful is when you don't like do any of it. When you just release it with no description. Just.
Yeah, and you're like, find it.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how some podcasts are so well produced and then some are just not at all, but the listenership has no correlation to it.
Yeah.
Like I think of Come Town. Like Come Town, the description is misspelled. There's nothing in the description box. It's dead air for the first 5 minutes. The audio is not balanced, but it's a hit.
Dude, Come Down has so many Patreon subscribers.
Oh yeah, they make like $100,000 a month or
I
something.
know. I looked at it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
If Come Down can do it. And the name is it's all insane. Like there's no world in which it should work, but it's thriving. It's
Yep.
flourishing.
They did end it recently, as did.
They ended it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, now it used to be Nick Mullen, Stavros Halkias, and Adam Friedland, and Stavros has since left the party. So
He
it's
left
just
the
him
party.
and Adam now working on a new show. But same with History Hyenas. History Hyenas was like $80,000 a month, and they ended it at the top too. I don't know
Dude,
why.
if you're making $80,000 a month off your pod, and just keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been there. I've never,
Me either.
like to step down from something giant like the way Seinfeld did or that. I just don't know what that's like. Or
Like
Chappelle.
the pressure.
Yeah. No, I would just do it. I would suck it up.
Yeah.
Suck it up, take the money, and
just
fuck the artistic integrity.
Yeah. At a certain point, you're like, I'm ready to sell out.
Mhm.
Let's sell
I'd
out.
love to.
Yeah.
You got something you want to sell? I'll sell it for you.
Okay, so how did you and Shane meet, and when did you guys decide to do the pod together?
We met in Austin, Texas about more than 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago now. Let's just say 10 years ago.
Okay.
He was the I was the new comic, like about to be a feature act maybe, and then he was already a headliner.
Okay,
and he had won the Aspen Comedy Festival, and he was the new guy coming into town. We were excited about, like, holy shit, this guy's been on Conan and Comedy Central, and he's going to come live in Austin, not in LA and New York. So he was the big man on campus, and just kind of ended up doing sets together, becoming friends together. When he moved away, sometimes he'd stay at my house in Austin. He started this podcast later called Here We Are, where he talks to scientists, and then I was his web guy, and I would do the audio engineering too. So
cool.
That was kind of a collab there. Then eventually I moved on from that, but we still stayed in touch and would have conversations and talk about the universe, that kind of thing. And then during the pandemic, eventually we decided, like, what if we converted this to content, as everything else in the world has become, instead of just wasting it on phone calls.
What if we started profiting off of our conversations?
We've talked about it before, but I mean, don't you have that with a million other people? It's like, oh, we should do a show together, we should do this together, and it never actually materializes because you're busy with stuff. But this one we actually did, and it was meant to be.
Yeah. So, like, how would you explain your show? I see that you do, it's like you take your artwork and pair it with what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, actually, I make new artwork every episode. So we pick a topic, like we'll do, let's see, recently, episode 69, we talked about mating behavior. We
on
did
69?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
We did one about sub-selves. We did one about the... man, I don't even remember the topics anymore. Like marketing, economics, mainly science thing. Evolutionary biology is his main interest, but he comes at it from a more empirical, science, skeptic, cynic perspective. I come from the more woo-woo, magical simulation perspective. And, we kind of not really butt heads about it, but just kind of discuss the different perspectives of it. But then after the episode, then we discuss, like, what an art piece could be for it, and then I draw that and try to get it ready by Tuesday, which I've got to get one ready today too. I have to finish one today and one tomorrow before the Patreon one comes out.
Oh, you have a Patreon too?
Yeah, we do Patreon. No ads, no sponsors, nothing like that. Just all Patreon support.
So on the Patreon, what do you guys offer? Is it like pods?
Yeah, bonus pod every month, and another entirely different show called Mind Under Art, where instead of talking about science stuff, the listeners pick an art I've made before, and then we talk about what I was thinking. That's so
cool.
That's the more fun one. That one we get real wild. We like talk shit. We name names. We say racial slurs.
Because you can.
Yeah, we give out
Patreon.
People's information, all that. And then the main episode, we're like kind of more, oh, that's fascinating. Yeah.
I love this so much. This is so cool. I love psychedelic art. I'm a big fan of, like, Peter Max. I don't know.
Who?
Peter Max.
Peter Max.
He's a psychedelic artist from, like, the 60s. I have one of his things hanging up.
I should check it out.
He did some stuff for, like, the Beatles. I'll show you the thing I have of his.
Like Yellow Submarine, that style?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, then I do know who that is.
Yeah.
No, I'm 100% influenced by that.
Yeah. This is like a similar vibe for sure.
Isn't that weird? I'm influenced by people whose names I don't know and whose face I don't know. They could be an old person at CVS, and I'm like, get out of my way, you old bag. And then it's like, oh, I was influenced by them my whole life.
You don't even realize.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you guys are getting ready to do a festival.
We're doing a Campout festival in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Are you
September 9th through 11.
Hold on.
I am excited.
Bo, come here. The dog. I need him. Okay. You're sorry. Let's talk about the festival.
Oh, is he going to be okay? He's going to run off?
Yeah, I just want to make sure he's on his best behavior.
Hey, Bo.
Bo, come here.
Bo, come chill. Out, that is.
Come chill out. It's okay. See, it's a very organic, natural pod here. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The dog could get up. It becomes a focal point of the podcast.
This is where it's at. Marin, rigid. Rogan, rigid. This is free-flowing.
Free-flowing. You never know what's going to happen.
This is where the next 100 mil should go.
Yes.
If you get $100 million, can I have $5,000?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
But you got to paint me something.
I have to
Do you paint?
Paint you? Sure, yeah. I did the mural at Cap City recently.
You did?
Mm-hmm. In
what
Austin.
Does it look like?
It's a big... It's a big ass. No, it's not a big ass. It's a big skyline with like kind of colorful lights and stuff going on in the water and a big bridge coming towards you. I can show you a picture of it once the internet works.
Yes.
Later, but I don't know if you've been to Austin.
Yes, I've been to Austin. I haven't been to Cap City, though.
There's a new one. The old one shut down.
That's what I heard.
During the pan. New one is back in the Domain, which is like a very ritzy
area,
upscale shops area. So it's kind of out of place because it's a comedy club, and then you've got Saks and what are some other stores? Ralph Lauren. Is there another one? Laura Kors or something?
I don't know. There's so many fancy things.
Yeah.
Laura Ashley. Remember that brand?
Ashley Laura. Yeah.
Okay, so wait, let's talk about the festival.
The festival. The whole reason I'm here to do the promotion of the festival. So we joked about it on an episode about a year ago that we would have International Mum Day, Mind Under Matter.
Okay, I love that.
Like what we would do during that because we're celebrating the birthday of it. And then eventually it organically evolves into a big festival thing. And then one of our listeners reaches out, says like, I actually run a retreat over here in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we do music festivals, and we've got yurts and stand-up paddleboarding and
that's
all
so
this.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's a decked out area, so he wanted to be the place where we organize that festival. Plus Shane has wanted to do a festival for like a decade. I've never even been to a campout festival. I didn't even know a campout festival was
a thing.
Yeah, I'd never been to a Fish concert, or I've never been to a Grateful Dead show. I don't know that
landscape.
At all.
I'm calling it a landscape.
Yeah, the landscape.
It's just people on so many psychedelics.
Mm-hmm. Which we do not condone.
No,
but
never.
We also don't do any. We don't arrest you or shoot you either. Am I legally allowed to say that? Nothing I'm saying is legal. LegalZoom is not a law firm. This is not relationship advice. Why do they always have to say that LegalZoom is not a law firm, and also if you're giving relationship advice, like, and I'm not a therapist, this is not legal relationship
I know
advice.
that like they tell hairdressers and stuff not to give relationship advice.
But that's half of why you go.
God, yeah, my hairdresser is my therapist. This bitch knows everything.
Because she gets you relaxed. She's massaging your head and
I'm like, yeah, fuck
cool
this
thing.
guy. He never called again. And that was it. She's like, I'll go in a few months later. She'll be like, whatever happened with that? I'm like, oh, who? Yeah. And I'm like, this is literally more valuable to me than an actual therapist.
Yeah. They just have a better feel for it.
Yeah.
I've never been to therapy, and I know that's a typical male thing to say. The whole trope of men will blah, blah, blah. Men will shoot up at elementary school instead of going to therapy.
Yeah.
But I won't do that. I'll do something else. I'll shoot up heroin.
Oh, shit. Heroin. Wait, okay. So what is this festival going to be?
So we've got music. We've got, bands performing like Desert Honey, Rebecca Todd. We've got comics like Zach Sherwin, Mike Kaplan, Dave Waite, a bunch more just added to the lineup. He's great, isn't he? And his recent material has just been crushing it.
He's great. He's super talented. He moved to LA not that long ago, I feel like.
No, he's been here a while.
He has?
He's been here for like 2016
really?
at least, yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe because he just started working at the Comedy Store.
Oh, that's why.
Not that long ago?
He started working at the Comedy Store last couple of years.
And that's where he entered my realm.
There you go.
Because before that, I was like, who's this guy? And people were like, no, he's been doing it for forever. And he started on the East Coast, I think.
Yeah. Or, he started in Cincinnati, Ohio.
I don't know much about Dave Waite. It turns out.
He's on time. He's
funny.
He's got dad vibes. Very funny.
He does have dad vibes. Okay, so he's going to be on the show. That's cool.
We've got scientists. That's where it gets kooky because music, comedy, it's like normal. But we've got scientists giving science talks. We've got Dan Ariely.
Do you know what some of the science talks are going to be yet?
About, so Dan Ariely is, has a lot of research on like, predictably irrational, like the irrational decisions we all make every day, and you try to tell yourself to do one thing, you don't. The way we spend money, where sometimes $3 is like, I wouldn't spend $3 on that, and then sometimes you'll spend $300 for whatever, yeah. And
that's cool.
Some evolutionary biologist mating people talking there.
I know Shane loves evolutionary biology because he came on here and he was talking about it, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's like, oh, we evolved out of who?
I was like, wait, okay.
Yeah, the balls are for what?
yeah.
We have a spine, huh?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
That's me half the time, because like he'll go
so
on.
Smart.
Oh yeah, he's been interviewing scientists for 7 years now.
He's like a sponge.
Yeah, with an intent, not just because I don't know, if you interview comedians or something, you're getting something out of it because it helps the algorithm. But scientists, you're not helping yourself. No one seeks out scientists.
But he does have such interesting different conversations. And if you're stoned and you put that shit on, you'll be like, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's different. He went a different direction, which takes me back to when I was saying he was the hot shot in town. Like Shane started comedy at he was at the same time as, John Mulaney and Pete Holmes and Kumail and all these people who are like captains of industry now. And then he could have just like laser focused on comedy, but he chose to pursue his interests and not just like try to be on a sitcom or something. Not that those guys are trying to be on a sitcom or anything like that, but
which I love.
Yeah, which he was like, no, I just want to interview scientists. I don't care if this isn't the way to make the most following or anything, but this is what I'm passionate about. So he stuck with it.
And that's awesome. And I do think when you live authentically in that way, you find your people, and the people who fuck with you heavily fuck with you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Which is why we have the festival, because it's just the right size. It's not too small that no one's heard of us, and it's not too big where we're going to have to worry about, a person with a knife or unhinged stalker kind of thing. Cause
we like that.
It's not there yet. And we have security too, because we're concerned about not just illegal things, but specifically like, what if ladies are creeped out and it's not even illegal? What if there's just a creepy guy that's...
You definitely need security for the ladies.
Yeah.
Because who knows what kind of people are going to be listening to science talks. But that's so cool and so fun. And I haven't what a cool thing to be a part of. So how many days is it and when is it?
3 days, and there's one Patreon day, secret Patreon day.
Ooh,
but it's 9/11, September 9, 10, 11.
9, 10, 11.
Yeah, never forget. And then September 8th is Patreon
Only day.
And then September 13th. No, actually, no, it's done by the 12th. We're out of there by the 12th.
So it's so fun. So you camp for 3 days?
Yeah, 9, 10, 11 is the last day. And you can also just come over if you don't like camping. It's not going to be like Firefest where you're isolated on an island and like, get me out of here. You're like just 15 minutes away from downtown if the whole place catches on fire, which is not our plan, but it is a possibility. And you can just come for the day if you don't want to.
So I love that. Are there going to be podcasts?
There's going to be podcasts. We're going to do our first live one there. I'm going to do one of my own Rainbow Brainskull ones. What's Rainbow Brainskull? That's my other non-Shane podcast. Where, so you have...
Shank.
Yeah, you have Shank and this bitch. And then I've got Rainbow Brainskull and Mind Under Matter. And then... Rainbow Brainskull is more like my Shank one, where I talk to artists and musicians and stuff. 0 scientists. 1 scientist, actually. One of them slipped in.
1 scientist slipped in. Well, that's so cool. So is it sold out, or can people still buy tickets?
People can still get tickets. I think we're almost out of the early bird special where you get... by the time this comes out, this actually might be sold out, but go check anyway. I don't know. But the early bird special, you get like a goodie bag with limited edition items. Ooh, hope we got that on tape. And a special keychain that gets you access to private areas and stuff in the future.
So do you think it's going to be an annual festival?
Yeah, that's the plan.
So what I love about it is I saw Shane was posting some behind the scenes, and it looks really fucking dope. It's all really beautiful outdoors, and then there's this really cool juxtaposition because you have your art, which is like psychedelic and bright, in this natural landscape space.
Yeah.
And that's really what got me into it. I was like, this looks sick.
Yeah, there's more coming. We're trying to get as many cutouts and things and projections, because there's lots of laser light show.
There are?
Technologies that the guy running it has, and we're trying to take advantage of all the goodies.
That's so fun.
But there'll be a little space station dome place and lots of cutouts of the art I made for it and projections on the trees, like ghosts that like float up between the leaves.
What?
And things
That's
like
so
that.
cool.
Yeah, we're trying to deck it out, but still in the process. But actually not so much. Almost there.
Would you ever do live painting?
Yes.
Have you ever
I might
done
even
that?
do that there. No, I haven't.
Live painting is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
I like the idea of watching someone do it live.
Kind of sets the...
I'm a cuck for live painting.
Me too. I'm just a cuck in general. If you want to paint during it, all good by me. But the live painting is interesting because a lot of painting styles, it looks like shit before it's finished. And then it starts to come together and they don't know that. So if you're only tuning in for the first 20 minutes, like, what are they doing? Putting brown and then yellow. It's like, that's the painting. And you come back later, it's all right. But no, I totally would. I would do live painting.
That's awesome.
I'm not against the outdoors. I love the outdoors. I just don't gravitate to the outdoors.
You're more of an indoor guy?
Just by default, because I have interests where I'm like, oh, I want to learn this on guitar. Or, okay, I want to draw this. Yeah, I play violin and guitar and lots of string instrument noodling.
How long have you been noodling on those?
Oh, since I
noodling
was
is
5.
such a good word, though.
5.
5?
5 is when I was a little violin orchestra kid, and then you become a teenager and you want more. You want distortion. You want it to be loud. You want it to sustain.
You want bitches to notice.
You want bitches, period.
Yeah.
And then from there, it kind of blends into all of them. And then,
cool.
But all that stuff is, I like to play with toys, I guess is what it comes down to. It's inside video games. Drawing is toys. That's like markers on paper.
Well, do you have an Oculus?
Oculus Rift?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird because the first week, you're like, I could move into here. And then the next week, you're just not even picking it up at all.
Yeah.
Do you play with it?
I had an ex who got an Oculus, and then that was the end of the relationship. No, I'm just kidding, but not really.
Was it?
No, but he loved the metaverse.
Like, what was he into on there besides the porn?
I don't know. He would like be in the living room like playing block games, and he looked insane.
Block game? Oh, Beat Saber.
Like Tetris. I called it Tetris.
Oh, that's funny.
You know the classic Tetris? No, it's like a Tetris type of game where you take blocks and you put them together.
Okay.
And he would do that. I tried
VR?
it once, and I was like, I don't have the patience for this shit. Yeah.
It's funny because some people love it, and then some. Like I tried to show it to my girlfriend once, and she was finished within like a minute. Was like, no, I get it, and then never tried it again.
There's something about it that's a little scary. But can you draw? Have you done art?
In VR?
In VR.
I played with Tilt Brush a little bit.
I played with that too.
The feel of it wasn't... If it's not perfect, I don't like it. I like the feel of something to be just dead on. If it's got like a little lag or it's like...
It's off.
Then I'm like, why am I doing this at all?
So how long have you been doing art for?
I think also since forever. Probably even before 5. I was a doodler.
You were?
In class. Always nonstop... doodles everywhere. I wasn't even conscious of it till...
A doodler and a noodler?
Yeah, and my last name kind of is Noodle. And my first name, too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, ramen noodle effect going with it. So I'm meant to be that. Do you think that, like, some people's names, you're meant to be that thing?
Yeah. Like your name fits what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just are that.
You just are that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not... Sara Weinshenk is not going to be, a dentist.
No, you're in entertainment somehow.
Yeah.
You have some kind of entertainment thing.
Yeah, I do think that. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
So you've been doodling for forever. I mean, I'm also...
Were you a doodler?
So this is the thing. My mom's really good at drawing and painting, like to the point where it's like she could have done that as a living. And now she's getting back into it. She's a watercolorer. She's really good.
Fun.
And watercolor is hard.
It is. It flows. It does its own thing if you're not careful.
Yeah. So I know. But so she's very good at it. And so I've never been able to do that. I can like scribble. I could do some abstract shit. But is it good? I don't know. I understand color really well.
That's
like I'm
good
good at putting colors together. and like styling things. And I used to think I wanted to be a stylist because I really loved putting textures and colors and like the art of getting dressed and all that shit.
Yeah, and you've always been into accessories, right?
Yeah, I'm an accessory bitch.
Yeah, because I heard on one episode you're saying that you used to get an allowance and then you would use it on accessories and your sister would save it in the drawer and then would just have all this cash and just didn't have that impulse to go get the accessories.
She would have just a stack of ones in her underwear drawer.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what the fuck? She'd be like, what are you saving that for? You're 7. Buy some licorice. Like, I don't understand. I'm like at Claire's buying earrings and shit. She's just hoarding it.
Is that an anxious thing? Is she older?
She's younger.
The younger sister is doing that. Interesting.
No, she's the older sister, though.
She's middle.
She seems older.
Oh, gotcha.
She's the older.
Maybe it's the niche theory. Have you heard that?
No.
It's the theory that whatever the other sibling does, the
oldest?
Whatever the oldest one does, the next one is going to do the different thing. So if they're all about school, the younger one is probably going to be more about the arts and vice versa. And just if one is more outgoing, the other one's probably more introverted. You just kind of take on like, okay, they've got that one covered. I'm going to be the different.
Do you have a sibling?
Yeah, I've got an older brother. He's the academic one. He's a professor. He's got 2 kids now.
Okay.
Lives in Boston. Yeah, he was definitely the more academic one, and I wasn't even bad. I was just in comparison to him, I was like, no, I'll just never be able to be that. Why even try? I'll just be a B kid. I'll just get B's.
Yeah, I was a B kid.
Yeah, just B's. Just
I worked hard for those B's though.
Me too.
I was like, you know what? I would hate to have to go back to school. Did you go to college?
Yeah, but
Where'd you
school
go?
sucks. I went to University of Texas at Austin.
Okay,
UT.
how was that?
It was fun. It was a school.
What'd you major in?
I started off in electrical engineering, and then halfway through I switched to advertising.
Okay, cool.
And I'm glad I did that because I learned, you learn Photoshop and Creative
Photoshop is something I
Suite.
wish that I know.
Well, you still can. It's getting easier and easier.
I need it to be easy.
And the tools are unbelievable. Like before you had to, let's say you wanted to remove a person from the background. Someone's on the beach and you just
Make
want
it a
them.
layer.
Before you had to like literally go and trace them out, like cut it out with the mouse. Now there's AI that you just say select subject and you don't even have to click on the subject. It recognizes when there's a human or a dog or something that you want to crop out and it just does it.
So is it intuitive, or is it? Would I need to take like a class?
Both.
Okay.
It is intuitive, but it's probably
You need to know the basics. I took Photoshop in high school.
You'll still remember some of that. I took Photoshop in high school too, and the lady didn't even know how to use it to where like she didn't know how to erase the screen. The way she told us to erase the screen was, now select a white rectangle and drag it over the entire canvas, and then you see that the stuff you drew before is still there, and she just didn't know how to delete shit. And then we had to teach her, like, you can delete the layer. You don't just paint over it with a new layer.
I love when you realize your teachers are just humans that also don't know everything.
Yeah, at most they're just humans that don't do anything. There's some that don't even make that cut.
Yeah, that's so true.
I wonder how many of them are dead now.
Your teachers?
Yeah, especially because when you're a little kid, you remember like, oh, they were really old when I was 7. So by now I'm old, so
they seem ancient.
Yeah.
I found out my preschool teacher's still alive. 2 of them.
Wow.
And
maybe they'd remember you?
No.
Yeah,
I think that, like, the narcissist inside of me is like, oh yeah, they'd for sure remember me. And then it's like, they have so many kids. They have so many fucking kids that they see every day. I feel like they can't even remember the names of the ones that are currently in their class.
Yeah.
It's like, I show up, hey, it's me, Sara Weinshenk. You remember me? I was taking.
She has returned.
You remember me from 1990? They're like, what?
That was the first year I knew what a year was.
In 1990?
1990. They wrote it on the blackboard, and I was like, what's this shit? And then they're describing it, and I'm like, okay. And then it changed the next year. I'm like, huh? It's not that anymore. When did it become that? Because you don't celebrate New Year's. You go to bed early. You're a little kid. Your parents aren't going to...
New Year's as a kid is very weird.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember my parents would be like, okay, here, you guys are going to go to your grandparents. They'd send us to our grandparents, and our grandparents would give us steak. And they would give us apple cider and steak. And I was like, hell yeah. Because my parents didn't give us steak regularly. So we were a steakless household.
Because of no red meat, the artist thing?
No, my parents didn't really eat red meat.
Okay.
My mom grew up in an Irish family where they give you like steak and potatoes every night, and
steak
I think that was a good Irish accent.
I've been working on my Irish.
That's pretty good.
You do the O's into O's, so it's working on the Irish, and then you say M a lot. My friend Mark watches a lot of VR porn.
VR porn. I like it. So do you have other books that you sell? This one's really 10. Dope.
I gotta make a living. I haven't had a job in 10 years.
That's awesome.
So all the I always wonder if I would still make stuff as much if I didn't need money, if I just had my needs taken care of. What did you call the people here, trustafarians?
Yeah, trustafarians.
Yeah, if they were trust fund people that don't need to. But so much of my motivation comes from like, oh, I've got to make rent next month. Okay, I will I will post art every day, and then the ones that work on shirts that people want to have on shirts, then I'll offer those as shirts and prints, and then compile into books. And then
do you think there's a reality? I don't know if you saw this, like a physical oracle deck
coming in November.
I definitely want to get that.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm just laying out the files right now, and I have now I do have enough to get a print run of it. Before, like last month, I didn't have, because you have to do a minimum order of like 500 of them or something.
You do?
Yeah.
You have to do 500 images for the deck?
No, 500. Like you have to order 500 decks.
Oh, okay.
Like, you can't just say like, I'll just get 20.
Like merch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But with merch, it's not always that. Like books, you can do maybe 10. Or 20 or something, but for some reason the Oracle deck I want to make, which has the holographic lining, it's got the thick cardstock.
It's gonna be so good.
It's got a book with the satin. Like I want it to look good and not be like something that you got at Kinko's.
You gotta get it. I'm so excited for that because I love the app one too.
Yeah.
I like how it's you have when you click on it, it says it's reading your energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
it is,
and it feels as close to having a deck as you can digitally, which is cool because I fuck with the tarot decks from time to time.
Me too. We've got in our house, I think 12 or so.
12. So you know what it goes into making a good deck.
Yes.
I'm really excited about that. I feel like you got to get it up in Topanga too, like in the little stores.
Oh, I'd love that. It's just such a... The retail store game without a distributor is just such a fool's errand, because by the time you get into the store, and if they're going to want to carry it, you're not doing it for profit at that point.
Right, got it.
Like I spent this whole day to get 3 items in the store that hopefully people will buy, and then I will see like $2 of.
Well, but like this art is so cool and it's so good. I mean, I could see the tarot deck inside like a Urban Outfitters even. That would be sick.
Great one day, but I don't have any
connection there.
Connects there.
Well,
I could
put it on
day.
your vision board. Do you have a vision board?
No, I used to. Like earlier in the episode when I said that I'd fall off my horse with everything, meditation, yoga, everything. The vision board thing kind of goes to because it taunts you. Like, do you ever like write reminders to yourself and then you find yourself hating that there's text on the wall? Like, I don't want to be subjected to more thoughts.
Yeah, I have in there in my whiteboard that I totally forgot about. So it sells Stone Science, because I used to have a show with Kim called Stone Science where we smoke weed and try to understand science. We're like
That's the perfect sister show to our show. We should do like a four person.
We should
combination of.
We should. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Why didn't you do it?
Well, we just started this bitch. Well, we did Stone Science. We did the web series through Gas Digital. It's all online. It's us doing science experiments.
Is Gas Digital Lewis?
Lewis,
right.
Yeah. It's that whole crew. Lewis.
Is he the biggest mogul? Like
the biggest mogul?
Like who is? I mean, there's Your Mom's House Network. There's
Your Mom's House. Joey Diaz. Rogan.
Adam Carolla, but Rogan doesn't have a family of other shows though. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But Gas Digital, lots of shows.
Gas Digital.
Carolla, lots of shows. Mom's House, lots
Your
of
Mom's
shows.
House. I think it's your mom's house first.
All Things Comedy. That's
All
a big
Things
one.
Comedy. Yeah.
Feral Audio, Headgum. I guess there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But Gas Digital is like the most, like for lack of a better word, like offensive one probably.
Yeah.
They like that's the brand.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah. It's pretty much like anything you can say.
Offensive. Yeah.
It's pretty much real freedom of speech type of shit.
Yeah, it's called Legion of Skanks.
I know.
It's meant to,
I know.
Like, be that. And they're like, how could they be saying this? It's called Legion of Skanks. Of course they're saying that.
Yeah. Well, like when I told my parents I was going to something called Skank Fest, they were like, okay, be careful.
Be careful.
My parents, every time I go to Skank Fest, they're like, be careful.
Comedy store is probably more dangerous.
Yeah, but because the thing is that the Legion at Skankfest, it ends up being like the nicest, quietest kind of people that just listen to podcasts, like with long beards and like black t-shirts, and you're like, you listen to my podcast? I would never think that.
Yeah.
a lot of dudes.
Ordinary people.
A lot of dudes.
Yeah. That just work in tech or something, right?
Yeah. It looks like they never left their parents' basement, and they're kind of scary looking, but they're the nicest people, and they're like the biggest fans, and so it's really always cool to go see that. But yeah, last year I was like crowd surfing. It was like COVID was still kind of happening.
Oh,
my parents were like, be careful.
How did that happen? How did the crowd surf take place?
Well, okay, because they at the end of the festival on the last day, they always do the goddamn comedy jam.
With Josh Adam Myers.
With Josh Adam Myers, and then different comics.
Dean Del Rey.
Dean Del Rey doesn't do Skankfest, but he does do that show a lot.
But is it which Josh Adam Myers is? So they do like
it's
songs
Josh Adam Myers
where a comic covers it.
Yeah, and then
what does Dean Del Rey do?
Dean Del Rey often does the goddamn comedy jam because he's super into music.
Oh, but it's not his show.
No,
okay, gotcha.
But a lot of guys who are like Burr's really into it because he's really into music.
He's a drummer, yeah.
Yeah, and Maron's really into it.
Plays guitar, loves Keith Richards.
Yeah, it gives them a chance to like live their inner rock star fantasies.
Some of them are good, yeah.
For me, it's a goddamn nightmare. The thought of like jamming or singing publicly, no. But being on stage at the end of the festival, they bring everybody up. It's super fun, and you feel like you're part of something. Like you feel like you're living a rock star dream.
We all want it.
We all want it. And then Kim's like, you gotta just crowd surf. So I did, and I just jumped out and I crowd surfed, and it was so fun.
Nice.
But it's scary too.
Yeah. Do you know the story with Fishbone? Angelo Moore, I think his name is, but the lead singer of Fishbone, the band that was big in the 90s and still around now, I think today, but landed on some lady's head and just
killed her?
Not killed her, but paralyzed her.
No.
Close to that. And then since then they had a millions of dollars lawsuit against them, which is why that band like never really got back on its feet again after that.
No.
But just randomly jumped from the stage and hit the lady, and that was that. But I think the lady didn't know where she was and didn't know what the band was about to be, because that was par for the course for them. They always do that.
Well, they got to make you sign a waiver next time.
Mm-hmm.
The Jew in me is like, they need waivers. What they're missing is a legally binding contract. Oh, man. Well, that's our podcast.
Oh, it's over so soon.
It's over so soon. Where can people find you, and where can they get tickets for the festival?
So go to mindunderpod.com to get tickets for the festival, or just at least read about it, look at the photos, look at the videos.
The videos are so cool.
The videos are popping. They've got lasers going everywhere. You've got the mix of the fun, music, technology, overstimulation aspect of festival, plus the calm, serene lake. There's even ice baths and yoga classes.
There's ice baths?
Yeah, meditation, massage, get your D sucked. Actually, we don't do that one. Maybe next year, though. Maybe I'll suck it personally.
A hand job station?
You got to get tickets now, though. And you got to play this clip so I remember.
Okay, well, I'll link to everything. I'll link to all your socials so people will be able to find you. I'll link to the site where you guys are selling the tickets.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you so much for coming on. And guys, go support him. Check out, this book is so fucking cool. It's a great gift.
Yeah, get that, or download the Rainbow Brainskull Oracle deck if you don't feel like coming to the campout and you just want to support me digitally. But come on, support me real lifely.
Yeah, I mean, the digital Oracle deck is really cool. Because it's like some days you just want to consult the deck and you don't feel like taking out showing off the fact that you're a woo-woo person in public necessarily.
Yeah, and you'll get the cards wet or dented, and all the other Oracle deck apps and tarot deck apps suck ass.
I haven't ever, this is the first one that I ever have experimented with, and it's truly amazing. So I bought it even before you came on the podcast. I was like, this looks sick, and I bought it, and I was like, all right.
Because I kept posting about it?
Yeah, I saw you post about it once, and I bought it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
First one. Some people have written like, all right, fine, you got me. This time I'll get it.
It's good. I love it. And it's not that expensive. How much is it? It's $2.99.
Less than a cup of anything nowadays.
Yeah.
Name a cup of something that's less than $2.99.
I can't.
Everything's $2.99 up.
Even water.
Water's $4.87.
I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I went to Vegas recently. Water was $8.
It's so dark.
And I went down. So the vending machine water was $8, and then I went downstairs to the little convenience store in the lobby. I'm like, there it won't be $8.
It's 12.
It was 9, but close.
No. Yeah. Any lobby or like airport or museum gift shop, they have different crazy pricing.
Yeah, it's like several cartels to get it into.
Dark. Yeah. Well, that's our pod. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next week on Shank. Bye. Yay.